This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by our friends over at Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. If you live in California and need fully legal cannabis delivery at a great price, then you want to open up ease.com, which is spelled E-A-Z-E. Ease partners up with leading dispensaries in their active areas, which offer a great array of marijuana products that can be delivered right to you in an hour or less. Whether you need pre-rolls or concentrates, edibles or flowers, Ease is there to deliver. Pop over to ease.com to first see if your part of California is allowing for legal cannabis delivery, and then if it is, to start browsing all their products for a delivery of your own. Big thanks to everyone over at Ease for all the support. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Friday, May 4th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 483 of Marijuana Today Daily. May the 4th be with you. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. We kick off this last day of the work week with some big news out of Colorado, where yesterday state lawmakers approved a measure allowing for so-called cannabis tasting rooms, which would function just the same as brewery tasting rooms, just for marijuana facilities. If passed into law, the bill would let adult use dispensaries set up tasting rooms in which customers could consume cannabis products sold on site. Outright smoking wouldn't be allowed, though tasting rooms could sell edibles and concentrates for vaping. We'll keep a sharp eye on this one, as it'd be the first statewide law allowing for this kind of public social cannabis use. Ben Adlin over at Leafly has a good story up about the demise of the Cannabist as we know it and the possibility of its revival, as founding editor-in-chief Ricardo Baca has officially submitted an offer to buy it from the Denver Post. I've touched on this story in recent days as the corporate hedge fund owners of the Denver Post gutted the editorial staff behind the Cannabist, which was the first marijuana-focused media publication launched by a large traditional newspaper when it first hit the internet back in 2013. In place of publishing thoughtfully assigned stories written by subject matter experts with local focus, the Cannabist is now pulling in AP stories and other content from the wires that are driven more by keyword search algorithm. When this story first broke, there was news that Mr. Baca was interested in buying the Cannabist, but Ben Adlin's piece in Leafly has all the details for how a formal offer actually came together. A good read and a good story that we'll also keep watching. Our final top story of the day is one of the little societal change headlines that nicely hits at the larger shifts on how the U.S. views marijuana. Caesars Entertainment of Nevada, which operates the Caesars Casino, will stop conducting pre-employment drug screenings for marijuana. Instead, the business will only test employees on a case-by-case basis if they're suspected of using drugs. The change came about in part because of difficulties hiring agents were having in finding workers for the casino who could pass a marijuana drug screening. While that has likely been the case for a long time, the full legality of adult use cannabis in the state can't have helped the situation any for marijuana discriminating employers. Even as casinos keep legal marijuana at arm's length to protect their federal gaming license, they still can't ignore the fact that a sizable number of their workforce are consuming cannabis. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz it in headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. One of the bigger pieces of recent news out of Ease HQ is the fact that they are now active in Los Angeles. Ease wanted to make sure not to rush into the LA market until they were able to perform all the right due diligence and secure the necessary permits. That's just how Ease rolls. They put a lot of time and effort into staying on the right side of California marijuana law, which translates to a better buying experience for you, the Ease customer, as well as products that you know are fully tested and properly labeled and packaged. If you care about that kind of stuff and appreciate the ease of fast delivery, then you need to fire up ease.com, which is spelled E-A-Z-E. That's ease.com. And don't forget, you can check out ease.com/blog to find all of the helpful industry reports and insight developed by the Ease team using their properly aggregated and anonymized sales data stream. That's ease.com and ease.com/blog. All right, time for the blitz. A new poll released out of Quinnipiac University shows that 63% of New Yorkers support legalizing adult use marijuana versus 32% opposed. This is the highest level of support seen by Quinnipiac polling in the state to date. The poll carries a margin of error of plus or minus 3.7% and was conducted using both cell phones and landlines. New Jersey's new Governor Phil Murphy has copped to trying cannabis a couple times in his life, but says that he's not really much of a fan himself. Governor Murphy has made the legalization of adult use marijuana a main focus in the opening months of his administration and has been asked about his own personal history with cannabis in recent days and weeks. Yesterday, he finally broke and tweeted, quote, "Here's the deal. I've tried marijuana literally once or twice many years ago, and I don't have any desire to partake again. But this effort isn't about me. This is about social justice," unquote. CTV News has a good story up with some numbers released by Statistics Canada showing the different per gram prices paid for by marijuana consumers across different Canadian provinces, as well as some stats about usage rates and whether people are using medical cards to consume. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. The New Hampshire State Senate voted yesterday to kill a bill that would allow medical marijuana patients the right to grow cannabis at home. The state Senate voted to send House Bill 1476 to interim study by a count of 16 to 8, effectively scuttling its chances of passage this legislative session. Mike Adams over at Forbes has an interesting piece up about Jamaica and its nascent medical marijuana industry. The island nation, long known for its association with marijuana, is actually just getting around to opening up its cannabis laws and now has a legal marijuana dispensary. The interesting part of Mike's story is the fact that Jamaican medical marijuana law offers reciprocity for all U.S. state legal marijuana systems. So if you're a card-holding medical patient in the U.S. and planning on a trip to Jamaica anytime soon, see if you can work a trip into the Kaya Farms dispensary into your itinerary. Marijuana-focused point-of-sales system MJ Freeway has some numbers to report from the latest 420 holiday. Drawing from sales that flowed through their clients' shops, MJ Freeway said that marijuana dispensary business on April 20th was 2.85 times what an average day would see. The average amount of money spent per purchase also jumped up $10 to just under $110. And finally, for today and for the week, the Salt Lake Tribune has a story up about a nefarious, though perfectly legal campaign to overturn a ballot measure in support of a limited marijuana program in Utah. Marijuana activists have collected more than 40,000 signatures ahead of a May 15th deadline in support of a medical marijuana ballot measure. In response, prohibitionist activists are hiring canvassers to go out to try to convince enough people who signed on to the ballot measure to change their positions before that May 15th deadline. If the prohibitionists were able to talk enough people into changing their minds, they could imperil the ballot measure's certification. It's a long shot, but it's there. This is another one we'll keep on our watch list. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again Monday morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Ease, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.